What's up, guys? Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. Nameco and Dustin here. This is a baseball edition. But before we get into it, we got some football business to discuss. All of our loyal fans out there, we're making a plea to you. Please sign up for our pro football contest. You get a chance to win a free fancy t-shirt. You get entered into a box break, so go on to FantasySmackTalk.com. Click on the Games and Contests button. Sign up. It's a pro NFL pick'em. You just pick who's going to win each week, and you're going to win a lot of fun stuff.
We need you in there. We don't nearly have as many people as we were hoping for, so get in there for us. All right, before we get into the waiver wire, we got to talk a little bit of strategy for baseball. Your trade deadline's over. What do you do with your players that aren't really performing? Right now, it's all about what have you done for me lately. Don't be afraid to drop a pretty decent name just because they're not performing. You need guys that are hot right now. Baseball is a very streaky game, so don't be afraid to drop guys and pick up a hot bat. On a side note, also, if there's ways to exploit your pitching settings in your league by picking up and just dropping guys, by pitching as many guys as you can, now's the time to do that as well. So maybe drop just kind of your mid-range starters and just start a rotation and get as many guys in there pitching as you can.
Yep, the matchup game. All right, let's get into that waiver wire. And Dustin talked about guys with hot bats. Mike Carp, he was on a 20-game hit streak. He's been playing great since being called up. That 20-game hit streak got snapped, but hot bat, 20-game hit streak.
Another guy playing amazing is Peter Borges for the Angels, only on about 30% of leagues. Last 100 at bats, batting well over 300 with power and speed mixed in. This guy is on fire right now. Ride this out.
I love this, the fact the next guy's on here. Jose Tabata, you're finally coming through a little bit for me. In the last 34 at bats, he's batting 382, playing very well. He obviously had that injury. He's back though. He's playing well. Now's the time to grab him.
Moving on, we got a guy who's on here just because of his position eligibility, and that's Barney for the Cubs. Second and shortstop, two tough positions to fill, only about 45% owned. Not a ton of power here, but in his last 50 at-bats, he's batting over 350. You gotta love that at both of those positions. Let's move into the guys in the deeper leagues. First one, Nathan Eovaldi. Still filling in quite nicely for my boy Ruby.
Playing very well.
We always have a place in my heart, Ruby. But Eovaldi only owned about 10% of leagues, 4 starts so far, hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of the starts. He's pitching great.
Next, we got Casper Wells of Seattle. He was originally on Detroit, got called up from Detroit, called him up from the minors, shipped him to Seattle, and since then he's been playing great, batting 333, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, and only 15 games.
And here's one of the guys I'm talking about with a hot bat. If you need help at catcher right now, if your catcher's slumping, Nick Hundley for San Diego, only on about 15% of leagues. In his last 35 at-bats, he's batting almost 500, 4 triples, 2 home runs in that span. And, you know, these streaks might not last more than like 50 at-bats or so, but if you can ride that out during that span, you're going to be happy you did.
Seattle obviously hasn't been that good this year, so they're calling up guys to see what they got. And the next one's Trayvon Robinson. Now, he played very well in the minors, batting 290 with 26 jacks and about 425 at-bats. I mean, obviously, you're going to get some power out of this guy. We don't expect the average to be hovering around 300 in the majors, but if you need a little boosted power, he could be that guy.
And the last guy we're going to talk about is Chad Qualls for San Diego. The Heath Bell trade stuff is not over yet. It looks like he might be going out to San Francisco, which would obviously make a huge mess once Brian Wilson comes back. We'll see if it happens, but now that Adams is gone out of San Diego, looks like Qualls would be the guy that would step in. Might be worth taking a look at. So that's it for our Bi-Weekly Baseball Show. Please get into those games. We need to blow them up and really, try to take advantage of those the best we can. You can win one of these sweet shirts.
Fancy.
Check out all of our football stuff. I'm Dustin. This is Nameco. Get in those forums too.